All right, everybody, you're gonna do, if you look at your sheet, what we have here is a scenario. What we have here is a scenario where at the end of the school year, you got chemistry teachers everywhere cleaning up, right? Trying to get their area cleaned up. What happened is this situation or scenario is in Dr. K's chemistry classroom. She's discovered some unlabeled solutions. And to avoid drawing attention to herself about a really big no-no, you're supposed to always label solutions. So to avoid bringing any negative attention to herself, she's going to enlist her students to help her identify those solutions. So you can see that as you read this to prepare. It would be really good if you read what I just said, familiarize yourself with the scenario. Basically what your job's going to be to do is to help Dr. K know what her solutions are so she can dispose of them properly. Alright, so I'm going to let your group review some of the properties that you may encounter of the unknown solutions, and you can review the materials you've been provided to run your test. If you come up with another one, maybe from research, I'll see if I have it and I'll try to provide that. So what you need to do right now is make some plans about what you're going to test first, and then I'll let you come to the back and get your solutions. Alright? Alright, so y'all can get started.
See her wave at the camera, you saw her? When I hand it off to you, remember, don't hit no button. Your hand can go right here.
Over there, on the top of that big stack of books. All you gotta do? Yeah. Yeah.
So like solution 1 and 2.
Yes.
I mean, you're right. Oh my God, just like sit it on top.
Here you go.
All right, one quick reminder. Just because the solution's clear, is it gonna have properties like water, which is something you're familiar with?
No.
Absolutely not. The solutions should be treated as if it's the most dangerous chemical that you've ever handled. Because indeed, it's clear, it could be water. We use a lot of water in the lab, but you can't assume it's water just because it's clear, you know that. Just a reminder, before you start to come get your chemicals, which I would advise you to get one at a time because we can minimize the chemicals that are out and about. I would remind you too that you barely even need for the chemical, in terms of how much to get, you barely even need for the chemical to cover the bottom of your beaker. So you shouldn't be walking back to your area with your beaker half full, okay? It should cover the bottom, but not much more than that, okay? I've got your first solution ready, you can come back and the second solution.
Yeah, go over there to the
That's one.
No, just sit right there.
I'm talking little. Your sleeve should be pulled up too. Yes, ma'am, that's excellent. Hang on, let me get. Barely covers the bottom, you're good to go. And you see, if you need more, you can see we got more. No, you're all right. Yep, that's good. Treat it with respect.
Let's see.
So there's another D right here, and then there's a white one.
Yes.
I remember when we were supposed to do like a house party, so they just showed us.
Yeah, you need a battery? All right. Can you run a test? Nothing's necessarily first, I like how you do that.
Right here.
Yeah, you can. Well, you drew a conclusion right away with only one test. Yeah, I hate to interrupt. Should you be actually testing in the beaker where your stock is? No, because what can happen? You keep putting stuff in it and putting stuff in it. You could contaminate it, so you might want to use one of those spare beakers that you have to pour a sample in to test it, okay? Now, who's gonna be recording? No, I just think that, I'm not disagreeing. I'm saying, would you rather, how many pieces of evidence do you have to have? Yeah, but then what about if you drop that into your stock and you're out of stock? Yeah, yeah, yes. And your phenolphthalein, there'll be another, what you say, there'll be another beaker. And then pour your sample out, is what you're saying? I shouldn't be saying it for you. And then, the phenolphthalein is there. All right. Phenolphthalein should be, back here. And, Rhone Primal Blue is back here. Here's some more phenolphthalein, more than one group. Use that. Huh? It is.
So wait,
Yeah. That's one test.
after like when we write down.
Are you testing solution one? So then your test is gonna be ready.
One little drop.
What is this?
Turn the camera. Turn the camera.
Look at the material.
Turn the
No, not torn up.
Correct, that's your test. Then your result. Well, you may want to report the color terms.
Why not?
So we put the color on the no, she just said, like, yeah.
It's on them.
Teachers, please pardon the interruption. I need for all softball players to report to the media center at this time. All softball players to the media center. Thank you.
You signed it?
Yeah.
Stay focused, please.
Purple.
We need another.
We're bad.
This ain't already really.
Jordan.
I'm looking for one right now.
Jordan.
Yeah, man.
I'm looking for one right now. You might want to choose another test. Is that it?
You have to look for batteries.
What are you talking about?
Alright. Everybody listen, got one quick reminder. Y'all listen, because we need to minimize my interruptions. Now, I hear a lot of you doing what's natural unless you've been trained differently. A lot of you are saying after one test, it's a base. Or, you know, that's a conclusion. What you really want to record in the results is what you see. Like wide range pH paper, turn blue, right? You don't really want to make an inference at this point. Plus, how many pieces of evidence do you have to cite to confirm you believe? 3. So you want to literally just write down what you observe. And then you can contemplate all of the results to make a conclusion. Okay? All right, that's it. I'm looking for a battery. My battery won't go to test. Yes, I do. We need a beat.
She got 2 of them. She need to get up and sit right here. You can't. Right. I'll get up and stand.
Get rid of that next step. How about the battery works? Because it's not having electricity. But it's socket.
Huh?
Laboratory to test it, you touch a metal?
What now?
To test this, touch a metal?
Well, you have to test solutions. So what you want to do?
See the battery?
Yeah. Yeah, make sure you don't test your stock. I'll go get another one inside. Either the fastest thing. We got new ones in that room to the far left. Not in that room. I don't know, you gotta come up with that. Well, see the reporter coming out. See if you got That's why you kind of put the apparatus, or you could go on solution 2 and not, you know, like not wasting, you're not wasting time, but. Yeah. that conductivity apparatus, you can run that. Go get it. You make sure it's on. You make sure it's on, and then you put it in your solution.
Get down.
Yeah.
Battery thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
We gotta get that.
Get a watch glass, all you gotta do is get a watch glass, make a phone. Make a watch glass. There you go, that's how you do it. Walk around and do your thing. You're gonna make a puddle. You're gonna make a puddle. And you're gonna stick the ends in there.
Dr. Jordan.
It's all the same.
So, we do Mr. Charles, right?
So what was everybody, you gotta have, how many pieces of medicine? 4. Should say 3.
We just try the same paper. Or do another. Cause you can't just,
Hang on, I'm listening.
you can't just go by one of those. You have to go.
Okay, so are y'all, you got different strategies? Okay, what I'm after here is your strategy. Are you gonna like say, okay, we're gonna test every one of them with wide range paper? I would associate those with the solution. Yes.
No, it is one of those right here.
Please just put it down. Thank you. Now, so indeed, it appears that you're testing every solution with one test. Some strategies, others are doing, not right or wrong, is they're testing solution 1, do a different test. Your strategy is fine. You seem to be testing each solution, running the same test on each, right? Yeah, that's what you're doing. So all you're doing is recording, okay, so what do you get for this? Well, could that just be caused from it being wet?
Yeah, it probably, it looks, I'm telling you, it looks same.
Okay, well, that, we don't have to make, we don't have to make any conclusions right now, okay? I just wanted to make sure I understood your strategy.
So basically, we gotta do another test.
Yes, yeah.
Can we get some more, why we have to do the same paper? We need to do something on the sheet.
All right, I'm liking it.
Where's this stuff located?
Then you also can get some watch glasses to pour you out a sample.
So,
I want to be testing inside your stuff. You could get a watch glass and you could pour a sample of your solution.
I don't know what that, just ask her.
That's why I was gonna ask her, what is this?
What?
You see all the other materials on here? Can we put that in there? So, and then test it again? Or you don't want us to put nothing?
You have to pull a sample out of your stock and test. And then you can test each one with whichever one you want.
Where, can you tell me where?
Dr. J, what is this?
Right there.
Dr. J, what is this?
Rhone thymal blue. It's an indicator.
Is this one of them too, Dr. Jordan?
I mean, that's what that is.
Yeah, I know, I gotta do that. Yes, number 3 back there.
AG, it's what was in the first. Okay, this is what is that? What is that?
Yeah. You can go back there for you say drop test, what do you mean?
How many drops you gonna do?
That's the deal. Why is that? There's more back there. Make sure you hold the container when you, when you, draw from it. Good 45-degree angle technique.
I'm more of a nine, just straight on down.
The proper technique is 45-degree angle.
Okay.
What color is it on?
I don't think I got the right stuff.
I guess I just want to this.
Yeah, it's Brandon. Bro.
If you read your paper, your recorder, whoever your recorder is, can, read, properties of how acids and bases respond.
All of them not gonna be like that.
That's right.
Now we got to point this into one of those.
Natalie, where do I go?
Wait, that's not bromomethyl blue, that's silver nitrate. Squeeze that back there. You don't get near your paper. Squeeze it all out. Put it back on.
Is that what I say?
It is. Thank you. Can I take this?
Can we get that?
Listen, y'all are just a little bit, too hasty. Y'all need to treat every chemical, even the materials you're using to test, with respect. If you are using silver nitrate or anything else, you want to avoid getting any of it on your skin. If you suspect you do, what are you going to do? Right, it's silver nitrate right there. Y'all can get your materials.
This is what we were asking for.
You have to do it over.
Make sure you
Not
wipe
the
it.
same thing. These are three answers. I know that, we already did this.
Kinda scared that this sucker gonna get on there.
Because you said you have to do different tests.
Yeah, not, you don't put that in here.
But you do.
No, that's a big fucking. Oh my God.
That's it.
Drop it, the dropper. Make sure you hold that in your hand. Using this rubber stopper, dropper. Look at what you're gonna use. So you don't let it throw in. Use blade. No, use blade.
I mean, just for one.
Don't need to lie, we want you to turn.
I'm saying, y'all can change, cause they changed the colors now.
It's all right, it's just dry, that's gonna dry just like that.
Have you tested? Oh, you tested.
This ain't the same color. Cause this is yellow and orange, this is just straight orange.
Yeah, it's been drawn, that's why you got it in your hand.
Those two have already had something.
I know, you should prepare ahead of time. Squeeze all that back out. What you wanna do is you wanna prepare ahead of time to be able to go drop, you drop it back. You want that, remember I keep harping all semester, what makes the difference in you being able to do that? What makes the difference in you being able to do that? The experience and awareness, remember I was telling you about it? Not wait.
Do I watch these out or?
Now, make sure you're working arm's length away, don't lay on the counter.
And then like, let's sit on my day to dry.
You're ready to get delusion. Huh? Do you have three definitive tests? Now listen, look at silver nitrate. You want to have a sample of that test. Once you get this in your stopper, you can drop it in your dropper. Yeah. Open that.
Yeah.
Spread it well.
I've actually cooked that too much. That's the deal. Have the same ratio for each
Your test is are stable, that's gonna be terrible. If you're not getting anything, I don't think it's.
They put that.
Just do one.
Which I only put to use that.
See, look at that. Blue.
Well, we don't really want to analyze yet. I wanna just
Sky
guide
blue.
forward.
And then the same.
That's the nitrate.
This is darker, so
They look the
I
same.
feel like the blue, white, and
And
that one,
then
the milky
solution
white.
one,
All of them hit that
I don't think there's no any more solutions.
Seems like
So,
a
You
brown,
can do one more.
is that it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so the stuff which I need,
what is this right here?
Go to your,
This should be on our
yes.
That ain't paint, that's
No, most no, not most. Some of you are gonna be finishing up here soon. I need for you to go back to your desk area where you're working. And you can leave everything where it's at. And then I need for you to get, with your group and have some dialogue about your results and prepare to make your conclusions and put them on Padlet.
We already got 3 of them. And we ain't got one more. That's not the right one.
Here, don't worry. Who wanted this?
That's what it's on.
Okay, that is where we finished.
Okay.
He's just doing that because that's done.
Let me see, how many tests you got.
I told her to you, you said put it back.
You have to have 3 definitive tests.
We gotta do these 3 times.
No, that's definitive, that's definitive, but that conducted, your result is. That's a result.
No, they only have it recorded in the other thing.
But conducting doesn't distinguish one from 2.
Can you put it like?
We need, all of them connected.
You gotta have 3 pieces of evidence to distinguish them.
That's why we want to
Now, discuss what the
check.
results were and draw your
Yes,
conclusions. You need to do another test.
This is green.
Well,
This is,
out here, out of this is right here.
what color is
What do you think we're gonna do first? Have you got anything here yet? Oh, perfect.
Just
You ever see something happen, I wanna know.
I just want to make sure.
At 45 degrees.
First one, okay, some sort of.
Reduce your rating down with 13. Nothing is on.
So what is this?
First one.
What's the chemical?
It's a silver nitrate. Oh, that's good. Okay, so this one is the main.
Ask her if it's on the silver. Is this Benedict solution?
No, I tried to follow with
Is that on this paper?
Yeah, what y'all get?
Blue?
Blue
Yeah, this
and
is
green?
peach. That's what the color is like.
Now, when you go back to your desk shortly, You wanna look that up and see
First one
what it
did
means.
turn brown.
Look what up, like,
Like
Real?
on sheet.
Grown time or blue? What does it mean when it turns blue? What is it, what was that, it wasn't blue in the original?
I don't know. You want us to put it on a napkin? I wanna do it.
Bring it up, it's like 8 cents.
He created one with like, $6.
Oh.
Alright, so it's kind of, well, oh, it's kind of blue-green in it. Can you see that?
It was green and then we're
Just leave it out, dude.
Guys, Jordan.
That is green.
Yeah,
Oh, now, see, now listen, now this, that's why you're gonna go back to your desk and you're gonna debate. Cause that's, awesome, why would it be
You want us to leave this stuff?
water if it did whatever it did? No, you don't have to, we'll do that in a minute. Or, go to your desk and debate, you gotta come up with what you think the solution is.
Wait, can I look it up? I wanna get on the computer.
I don't know, we gotta look that up. You don't have all your tests? Alright, so y'all go back to your desk.
Here's your pen.
This is a list. Yep.
Okay, so your choices are underneath this. Yeah. Well, Nate, I'm getting ready to, make sure you, are prepared to decide that we're going to.
This right here is the final exam.
Make sure that, you check out that first page, and what your solutions could possibly be is in that list. So you're not just gonna say, like, make sure you're as specific as possible. Do y'all see the list from what you're gonna, sign? Page 1. Page 1. Your, that's gonna be how you name your unknown.
Okay.
Now you should, if you want to, come get some dialogue, walk around with some dialogue, because we wanna hear the discussion.
So, once we, go on tablet, we gotta write, 3 evidence that we said, which would be the evidence of the theater,
Are y'all dialoguing?
Yes, ma'am, we are conversating with one another.
Yeah? What's that?
That thing, what's that orange color to it?
You didn't use metal orange.
Huh? She said one of them could be.
Remember, argue in science doesn't literally mean argue.
I don't know. I thought argue just meant one definition.
Well, we call it debating. You should be able to support your argument with evidence, right?
Right, why did it
Alright, well, all of them conduct electricity.
turn blue? Okay, we do that one first, even though it was the last test we did.
Excuse me. So, what does say, Fifi?
What were y'all arguing about? It's right, yeah.
What are we going to have to do?
All right, well, shortly, we're gonna be able to have some discussion here.
No, but what was we gonna say? Like, we were gonna say first unknown was face. No, we're gonna set up. What is this face? No, which acid? You don't have to like.
I don't
you
think
don't
that's
have to
right.
like, you just gotta be asking this. You
Can't
can
just
choice.
sit it there and expect it to be boom.
So it's pretty much.
It's like big on that.
Which one of those bases? Which one of those bases?
He'll be sitting here.
Don't forget, each group has to cite very distinct evidence to support your, identification of solution. 3 distinct,
This is base right here.
So we don't have to do that.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying to move slow. Yes. It's taking a second here.
I haven't saw the right. Oh, yeah, the conduct.
Are y'all prepared to represent your group in Padlet?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, if it was internet slow. Those of you who got your Chromebook, are y'all having slowness?
No, we use 2 different Wi-Fi's in here. Yeah, y'all have a different Wi-Fi too.
So we're gonna have to start preparing the everything.
All right, if the internet continues to be this slow, we might just have to go with the old voice. Every time I try to use Padlet for the video, like, all right, I hate to do it, but we're gonna have to go back to the Stone Age and,
I got a question. What's that?
right.
Are we trying to decide what?
All right, everybody listen, please. We're not finished yet. Okay? We're not finished. We're not finished. All right, anybody who thought we were finished because of that delay was inaccurate. Because Padlet's not coming up, we're gonna use the board, okay? What?
So like, this part right here, this is the view when we find out what this is, that what you put right here?
All right, so before we start talking about your evidence, what you did, you had unknown solutions, and what did you do to those solutions?
You tested them.
You ran tests, and then what did you do once you ran the tests?
You wrote them down.
Wrote down our
Wrote
observations.
down your result.
You wrote down the results,
And then
your
conclusions.
observations. Like, we had a little pause earlier where we said, just because a wide range paper turns blue, for you to say, well, that means it's a base, that's a little, too hasty. What you wanna do is literally record, like, the color. Now, the time you've been given here recently was for you, with your group, to review the results. And then, when you review your results, you're supposed to suggest, based on your evidence, what you believe the identity of the solution is, and I think your choices were base, acid, water, what were the other ones? Salt, salt water solution. Alright, so, because I'm hard-headed, let me see if Pat has some, one quick second. Okay, let me try. Alright. For those of you who didn't give up, let's give this a shot. Thank you. What would be a good name for this?
Last week experiment.
Last
We're
lab,
not finished.
the last lab.
That last week.
What did you do?
Huh?
Conducting.
Yeah, put it in the last lab.
Identification of acid
And I know it's the last few days, and I think I heard someone say, well, it should be creative. Well, you forgot that in science, it's pretty literal. In writing and in English and other places, you can be creative. But in science, you want to say exactly what you're doing. If a stranger walked in and they looked at our Padlet, would our title tell them what we did? So, last day lab, you can see now with that explanation, probably not, probably the most detailed way to describe it. Let me just get rid of that, we don't need that.
Unlabeled solution lab.
Do what?
Unlabeled solution lab.
Those of you who need to, come up here and see the URL. All right, those of you, do you have your Chromebook? All right. Can y'all, I'm the old guys. Can y'all see that back there?
I've got it right here.
Okay, thank you. Now, I want you to, as efficiently as you can, go in there and identify your unknowns. Okay. Just put your group name and identify your
What's the key? You say URL.
As, you talking about the end?
What? It's www. It ain't even that.
Well, the front end's the same as it always is, padlet.com, my name _ last name / NYFK 33IEK 0XL.
Can you say that last part again?
NYFK 33IEK, I think that's a 0 XL. All right, if you haven't gotten everybody's name in by now, at least just kind of put your results, Eric. You don't have to put we believe. You don't have to put we believe. Put 1 dash. Yeah, I picked the wrong look.
Do we just put our answers or do we just put like information of our
We're going to do that vocally. Very good question.
What are we about to do?
1 dash identification, 2 dash identification, etc. We're going to vocalize the evidence. All right, in about 1 minute, we're gonna start our discussion. All right, once you finish basically doing the 1s, 2s, and the 3s, what we need for you to do is have your evidence handy, because we're gonna do that verbally because of time. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I can. Can you, y'all
Around
here?
7.
Once you get your pass by then I need you to have your evidence handy, because you won't need to pass anymore because of time. All right, so once again, we're getting ready to discuss each group's results. Because of time, we're going to let you talk about your evidence verbally. Everybody ready? You got your evidence handy?
Yes, ma'am. Showed how it's yours are.
Yeah, I picked the wrong screen, so now it's. Okay, so Cheryl, right here. I really want to change, but anyway, let's just get on with this. All right, first group that's up. Obviously, now, shouldn't be any talking. You should be listening to your peers. You might ask them a question. You might be suspect about something they say. All right. So, the group that's showing up here. What was your 3 distinct evidence to support your number 1 being a base?
We did the pH paper and it turned blue, which means it has like a pH above 7, so we pointed to a base. Then we did like the drops of phenolphthalein and it turned pink, so like that's also toward a base. And we did a conductivity, the thing, yeah, and it conducts electricity, so also points to a base. And we did the silver nitrate, which meant that it formed a brown solid. It may be a salt because it formed like a solid, but if it turned blue, then it couldn't be neutral and stuff.
What are you talking about? Brown solid, then you mentioned blue. What was blue? I need for y'all to position yourself with respect and face them. Okay. You said something about blue.
The salts will react with other solutions containing silver. So silver nitrate, and it formed a solid, so we thought it could be a salt. But a salt has a neutral pH, and this solution had a pH above 7, not neutral.
That's, I really hope everybody heard what she was saying. She provided, hang on, I'm coming to that. She provided really good information. When she was articulating her evidence, she didn't say paper turned blue. She said wide range pH paper turned blue, which indicated that the pH must be above 7, which indicates that it should be a base. So I wanted to take a minute to acknowledge that when you articulate your evidence, you should be very descriptive like you were. It was awesome. And the last couple things that she said is really insightful. Are all of your tests going to just lead you right to the promised land answer, so to speak? No. So she's articulating, she has some conflicting evidence. So you noticed that there was it appears to have a basic pH. And then you went on to talk about, but it seems to have some properties of a salt. But then, I think you're literally thinking salt being salt water. Because a salt technically is an ionic substance. And is a base ionic? Does it have positive and negative ions? Yes. So So what I wanted to highlight is that you acknowledge you had conflicting evidence. So what are you gonna do? You don't have to answer this. What are you gonna do when you have conflicting evidence? What could you do?
You test it more times.
You could do more tests.
You can do more tests of what you already did. And see if it's the same thing you got the first time.
That's really good. You could do more of the same test to kind of confirm. Really good. Are some tests gonna be more definitive than others? What would you call your group, Natalie? What would your really definitive test be for that, number one? I mean, it was so unique and different than the others.
The drops of yeah,
We recently did an acid-base titration, and what happened when the solution became basic? The phenolphthalein, it did. It was very distinct, and that wide-range pH paper had a lot of different colors on the continuum, right? And would you consider your wide-range pH paper test to be definitive? Yeah, it was like on the extreme, wasn't it? All right, what about your acid? What were your tests?
We did the pH paper, and it turned like a bright pink or red, so that's like an acid.
Yeah, and I'm gonna contradict what I just said. Let's go, since we're on number one, to every other group, because otherwise y'all would do. What did y'all get for unknown number one?
We said it was a base also.
Okay, so what was your definitive evidence?
The pH paper turned dark blue. We dropped phenolphthalein.
Yeah.
We put 2 drops of that in it, and it turned purple. We did the electricity test, and it showed that it conducted electricity, and we put the AgNO3.
Yeah.
Yeah, silver nitrate, and it turned brown after 2 drops.
Okay. Would you think that the conductivity test is definitive? Did solution 2 conduct?
Yeah.
Did solution 3 conduct? Yes. So would that be a test that you could say, well, this is one thing and not the other?
No.
No. All right. So what did y'all get for number one?
We said it as a base. And
Do-
what? Go ahead.
Do y'all have any other evidence besides what's mentioned that you called definitive?
I mean, really, but what they already stated what we had. We did the pH paper, which was dark blue, and then the phenolphthalein really helped us decide that.
And you hear what he just said? He used the evidence to make a decision. He said when the phenolphthalein gave its result, that helped them decide. It was so definitive. All right, do y'all have anything else for the base that you used? What did you get for number one? Base. What, did you have any different evidence that's been discussed? Huh? Bromoplymal blue?
Yeah.
What did change? All right, well, we haven't really done any research yet to confirm what bromoplymal blue should do. We'll have to look that up. Did y'all have any other evidence that's very distinct besides the pH paper and phenolphthalein
Oh,
with number one? What did it do?
It turned it clear with brown specks.
Okay, so all of y'all got brown for that. We're gonna start with you for number two. What y'all get for the solution? Huh?
You gotta ask.
You call it an acid? What was your evidence? Now we're gonna let y'all,
It was dark pink color.
yeah, what now?
It was dark pink color.
What was?
pH paper.
Okay, so the wide range pH paper turned,
Dark pink.
okay. What else was your evidence?
It was like a light.
Okay, you had to have three distinct evidence. The wide range pH paper seems to have been really distinct, definitive. What else did you have that really set the acid apart?
The bromide blue.
What did it do?
It was peach.
Okay, does the materials description say that acid indicators turn what? What colors? yellow or red, but you said peach. Does that make you suspect? Yeah. All right, because of time, what did y'all get for number 2?
We also said it was an acid, and we got that from the pH paper, which turned dark red, which we looked on the scale of the pH paper, which that determines it's an acid, because it's lower than 7.
Yeah. Did you get any other evidence?
We did the connectivity, but like you said, that's not as determinative. And then we did the drop of phenolphthalein, and we came out white.
Yeah, no change. So really, y'all didn't know it, but the bromothiamyl blue, this group mentioned, was actually kind of the second definitive test for the acid. There wasn't really one. So number 2 was an acid. Number 3, what did y'all get really quickly? Water? Water? What'd y'all get? I left y'all out, didn't I? I failed. What did y'all get for the last one? Salt? Salt water? Just because I know time's running out. Number 3 was salt water. Number 1 was a base. Number 2 was an acid. Oh, wow.